Hi everybody. So today's topic is judgment. So from a legal perspective, you have a plaintiff and a defendant, so two parties, A and B. It doesn't matter whether they're organizations or individuals, and they present the facts as they see it, for a case, and they ask a learned third party on his and prior judge's experience to draw a conclusion and come to a judgment. So, okay, someone wins, someone loses. Or maybe both lose, or maybe both win. It would depend on whether it's a valid case or not. What is judgment from your perspective? Well, from my perspective, it would be drawing upon past experience to determine what my conclusion is to a specific subject, person, situation, circumstance. But it's my opinion, and it's based on my experience. Is it necessarily correct? Well, no. You see, I could see somebody lumbering down a street and their behavior mimics that of a drunkard. And automatically, I assume they are a drunk and they're a hazard. Well, they may be a hazard, but they're not necessarily a drunk. They may have a mental disorder that has absolutely nothing to do with substance abuse. They may have had an accident and be lumbering along as a drunkard due to traumatic injury. So, are my judgments always correct? No. So then you think, well, what the hell are you getting on it? So, yeah, I make mistakes. Yeah, you make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Why do you not do what you want to do? What stops you? And I'm not talking criminal activities and, the stuff that I'm talking dreams. I'm talking what you wear, what you say, how you behave, how you show up. What stops you from being who you are, from following your dream? Your dream, not the dream put on you by parents, siblings, schooling, society. Your dream. What stops you? Well, what stops me, and what has stopped me all my life, is other people's judgment. What will they say about me? What will they think about me? And the they isn't strangers. The they is family, friends, people who know me. What will they say? What criticism will they find? How will they berate me? How will they put me down? Because let's face it, your friends don't necessarily want what's best for you. You meet a new partner and I'm now speaking as a female, and you introduce your new partner to your friends, depending on how successful in relationships your friends are, will depend on how they feel about your partner. Other people don't want to see you being a success. They don't. They really don't. They might say they do. But how many people support you? How many people encourage you? How many people actually have your back? How many? And of those people, the ones who judge and criticize and put you down, which of them pay your bills? Which of those people pay your bills? Because I'll hazard a guess and tell you, unless you're a child living with parents or stuck in an orphanage system, the person who pays your bills is you. It's you. So why do you allow what other people might say? And again, I'm not referring to strangers. Because let's face it, do you care what a perfect stranger thinks of you? Well, maybe from a physical perspective, yes. Maybe you want to walk into a room of strangers and everybody looks at you and says, oh, wow, that person looks magic. Maybe that's what you want. But realistically, the they I'm referring to are the people who know you, the people who know your name, the people who've met you, be they family, friends, or acquaintances. They are your harshest critics. They are the ones who actually don't want to see you succeed. They are the ones that can't think of anything worse than you being more successful than they are. They don't want you to succeed. They don't want you to be better than them. They don't want you to have a happier life. They don't want you to have a more fulfilling relationship. They want to look at you and think, I'm doing better than you. I'm doing better than you. And it's actually remarkable. A number of years ago, before my life was ripped to shreds by that hideous brother, one of my old school friends, who I found wasn't my friend, she actually wanted my hideous brother. One of her favorite things to say was, oh, how the mighty have fallen. She never had a good word to say. She never had a good word to say. Because, let's face it, how many people speak badly about other people behind their back? How many of your friends have you sat with and they're speaking about one of your other friends? And what do? Do you defriend that friend? Do you partake? What do you do? And how many times when you leave that person do you think, hell, they were so ugly about ABC. I wonder what they're going to say about me. Because mark my word, the next time when it's that other friend and your friend, they are going to talk about you. They are going to find anything they can in their arsenal to speak about you. And it may be good. Don't get me wrong, not everybody is revolting. It may be good. Some of it may be good. But in my experience, it isn't. It's not even close. A lot of your friends put on a facade, a mask. They pretend they like you. They're with you in order to either get gossip or share gossip. They're not with you because they want to be with you. It's the very rare friend who's with you because they want to be with you, because they want to spend time with you. A lot of people only want to be with you because they want something. And the something may be company, it may be an ear, it may be to put somebody else down, it may be to accumulate gossip. Because how do I keep up with what's going on with you if I don't see you or speak to you? And how can I pass on the gossip if I don't have any? And you're probably thinking, well, that's a really jaded way of looking at everything. And I agree, it is. It is a very jaded way of looking at it. But check your conversations. Check the people you're with. What do they normally speak about? Is it interesting stuff? Or is it somebody? I mean, I do it myself. I currently have a person who I know is using me, and I know why she's using me. And we have a common friend. Well, he's my friend, she thinks he's her friend. And him and I swap notes to keep up with the lies, because this individual lies continually. She lies. So the only way to try and figure out the truth is to compare notes and then sort of work out what it could be, because it's probably somewhere in the middle. So what stops you being who you want to be, doing what you want to do with your life, following the career, the path you want to follow? What stops you? Is it what other people will think? Is that what it is? Bearing in mind, again, those other people are people you know, because nobody cares what people who don't know us think. You know, except maybe an actor. And they only care because they need the ratings. But from a soul perspective, I don't particularly care what a complete stranger thinks of me. I don't. So if a complete stranger walks up to me and insults me, I'm just going to look at them and think, what? And carry on. It's not going to impact me in any shape, form, or size. It isn't. Because they don't know me. They are making a judgment based upon what they can see. And if they don't like what they see, well, too bad. It's hardly my problem. So why don't you do what you want to do? Why don't you follow your dream? Why don't you look at the people who criticize you and think, well, did you follow your dream? Or are you bitter because you didn't? And obviously there are limiting factors such as financial constraints and logistical constraints and so on and so forth that make it a little bit more difficult to follow your dream. But why don't you? Why don't you try? I've spent my whole life not following my dreams. In fact, I can't even remember what they were. I don't know what I wanted to be. I don't know what I wanted to be. I don't even know who I am anymore. And why? Because all my life I have pleased other people. I have worried about what somebody else will think. What will mom say? What will dad say? What will this one say? What will that one say? What will they think of me? Do any of them pay my bills? Any of them? No. None of them pay my bills. None of them look after me. In fact, none of them even phone me. So does it make any difference what they think? No. At the end of the day, what makes the difference is what I think. What do I think about what I want to be? What do I think about what I want to do? Without the niggling voice in the back of your head going, this one's going to say this and that one's going to say that. They're not going to pay your bills. They don't have to live with you. And when I say live with you, I don't mean in your household with you. I mean in here, in your head. They don't have to live in your head and your heart. You do. They don't see you sobbing to tears every night. They don't see the agony you go through when you go to sleep or you try. Because you've sold yourself up the river. Because of other people's judgments. Other people's judgment. Their opinion. Their decision as to who or what you should be. As to whether or not you're wasting your life. Yes, some of them may be well-meaning. But you know what? If you have a dream, follow your dream. The top sportsmen, the top musicians, they followed their dreams. They didn't become what they are by listening to someone belittling them. They probably did have a supportive structure. They probably did. But I'm willing to hazard a guess that some of them had nothing. And they still did it on their own. And they don't go to bed at night and cry themselves to sleep because they lost their dream. They know they did what they wanted to do. They gave it a bash. And what's the worst that can happen? If you try and follow your dream and you don't succeed, what's the worst that can happen? Well, you get to pick a new dream. But not following your dream and finding out when you're in your late whatevers that you didn't do the things you wanted to do, you didn't achieve what you wanted to achieve, the judgment you're going to give yourself is much harsher than any judgment you're going to receive from any external party. You are not on this planet to please other people. You are not on this planet to be a specific thing that somebody else decides you're supposed to be. That is not your mandate. So please, please, start looking at your own judgments. Start looking at how you criticize people. Start looking at the conclusions you draw without the facts, without knowing precisely what it is that's happened, before you decide and declare, oh, look at that drunkard stumbling on the road. Check yourself. Get the facts. And please, if you have a dream, try and follow it. And don't allow other people's opinion, other people's criticisms, other people's opinions to stop you from following your dream. As I say, the only thing that can happen, the worst thing that can happen, is that you fail. Or you decide, I don't actually like this. I want to try something different. But at least when you, in your ripe old age, you'll look back and you'll say, well, I tried this and I tried that and I tried that. And I had a lot of fun failing. I had a lot of fun with that, but it didn't land for long. So check yourself. Check your own judgments on other people. Check what you say to other people about other people. Is the criticism that you're meting out valid? Or are you just being nasty? Are you jealous that somebody else is following your dream? Gosh, I said your dream and not their dream. Are you jealous that somebody else is following your dream and you aren't? Because if you're not following your dream, the only person you have to blame is yourself. And the only criticism that you have to answer to is your self-criticism. The words at the end of the day that say, none of those people mattered. None of those people even know my telephone number. None of those people contact me and say hi. And yet, I was worried about what they might say. Don't allow your dream to die because you fear rejection from people who don't have to live inside your head and your heart. Anyway, lecture over. Have a great day now.